Chapter 43. Thorn's first request hadn't gotten as much as a blink, but his second caused all of the aspects to shift in their seats, exchanging quick glances as they thought about what Thorn was asking of them. Bitterchill's face was a sight to behold, and from the way Northwind was gripping her armrests, Thorn could tell she didn't like the idea. To his surprise, however, the first to speak was Nightfall. The tall, thin god-beast slapped his palm against his knee and spoke in his rough whisper.
"I've been waiting for such a thing for a long time. I agree."
"What? You can't—" Northwind's words were cut off as Aragorl spoke up from the other side of the room. "I agree as well." Bitterchill shook her head, but then caught sight of Moon staring at her, and whatever words she was about to say were quickly swallowed down.
I agree,"
she finally said, her shoulders slumping in defeat. Barely contained fury rolled off of Northwind as she stared around at the others, until her gaze locked with Moon's.
"I think it's safe to say we've all been waiting for this day, haven't we?"
Moon said, her chin cupped in her palm as she watched Northwind steaming in her seat.
"But before we all agree so readily, why don't we see if there are any more demands?"
Thorn, who hadn't expected the aspects to agree, found himself at a loss. In truth, he had a whole list of demands, but they were all to be used as concessions when the aspects refused to go to war with the dragons. Now that the aspects had agreed, however, he found himself in a conundrum, worried that if he piled on too many other requests, the aspects would take back their commitment to fight against the dragons. Running over his list once more, Thorn thought for a moment, and then shook his head.
"I think that's about it. If you agree to drive the dragons from the endless battlefield, I'll agree to repair your broken soul bonds."
"Preposterous!" Northwind's voice landed like a physical force, stirring up a thick wind in the chamber. "Do you think you can hold something like this over our heads?" Before Thorn could react, the winds whipping around him turned deadly, unleashing such